Hi you guys, I'm Shyla, and today I'm going to be talking about Mario Kart. I'm sure a lot of you, or maybe many of you, have heard of Mario, the game series, and I'm sure most of you have heard of Mario Kart. For me, I'm not super advanced with games, so this is a game that actually I did play, actually the Mario series when I was younger, and I thought Mario Kart was just a great game to learn about. So basically I'm going to be talking about sort of the importance, the communicative importance of the design and mechanics of a game. So how the design of a game can influence and direct players to better understand the game, little things that they designed, especially with this game. I feel like it's not super complex and it's a little bit more fun to play and I think easier, especially for me. So we're just going to go through a few slides to kind of better understand the whole game. And let's see, I'm going to have to... Okay. So what is Mario Kart? So Mario Kart is a go-kart style racing video game developed and published by Nintendo. It was the spin-off trademark for the Super Mario series, like I said before. And it's not an entirely, it's not a hard game, I think, that is going to, you're not going to understand, the directions and, all the ifs and ands about it, which I love because, again, I feel like I'm all about a game that you can kind of have fun with. It's, lighthearted at the same time it is a little bit competitive, and it's easier to play. So there's many different series of the Mario Karts. Obviously, as Mario Kart came to be, there was more and more spin-offs to it. I'm just talking about the original one. So it introduces, it has 4 players, 4 to 12 characters that you could play. You could choose to play in the race, and they include, slipstreaming and 3D graphics, which is super cool. So it just keeps getting better and better. And again, I'm all about, engaging the player. And I feel like it's about, obviously game designers are going to always try to, sort of step up even more and design bigger and better. But again, I like that Mario Kart has stayed true to the original series. And I'm going to be analyzing Mario Kart and the objectives. Some of the objectives and how it's evolved and changed over time. So I'm gonna have to kind of go in this direction. Sorry guys. Okay, so describe. So one of the main features I'm gonna be talking about is the use of the various power items when you're driving the go-kart, and there are different boxes laid out onto the course. So it's not you're just driving and racing players. It's you're definitely, there's a lot of other elements to it. Again, not overly complicated, but something that I feel can get players engaged with and involved. It's not there's always, it's a fair chance for everyone to win. So basically what they're called is their power-up items in the boxes. So it includes a mushroom. So if they run into the mushrooms, that gives the player speed boost in the race. There's Kapua shells that also can be thrown at other opponents. Banana peels that the drivers can run over, and then that could be a hazard. They can lose control of the car. And what I like is the type of weapon that the players get. It's all receives. It depends on the player's position in a race, which I think is super cool because it gives, I said, everybody a chance to win the game. It's in a fair way. And I think that's a great design objective that the game designer was thinking of, because again, I feel it's, all about the element of fun, obviously challenge, but giving everyone a fair share, which I think is great. I'm going to go to interpret. So again, there's the design elements that I think complement each other really well with how the game's laid out, and it gives players more of a challenge when coming across the items, especially in the rows. There's a lot of different course themes like that occur throughout the series also, just saying, not just like, I mean, with original Mario Kart, but so again, most of them are based on existing areas in the Mario franchise too, which I think is super cool. But I think that's fun to kind of like incorporate different courses as well. That's another thing I'm going to add. But again, with the whole, besides the racing part, you know, adding the boxes in there. Also, again, like I like how the design of like you get, depending on which item you get, is like depending on like what you are, like where you are in the race, which I think is great. And again, it's not all about racing, which I think is great. It's combining the elements. It gives any player a chance to win a game in a competitive way, but also it's fun and enjoyable. And, you know, I think that's super important. So it just adds another element to it, which is great. Going off. So basically overall, I think it's really a game that you get to play that's engaged with, like, you know, the players can get involved. Anybody, really, there is a competitive element to it. That's not the entire game. But I like how it has the original feel of the Super Mario games, which are always, again, really fun. They incorporate a lot of the items in Super Mario with the Mario Kart, obviously, because it's, you know, I'm sure under the sort of like same design aspects to it. And I feel like this is great for anybody to play. Like I said, I feel like this could be a game to really get people that are, again, not so advanced in playing video games to start with Mario Kart, or even people that are advanced to start with Mario Kart and have fun with it. I mean, it's not always about like picking the hardest game to play. So I think Mario Kart has, again, realistic chances for people to win, which I think is great because people, you know, sometimes don't want to like figure out like the most complicated thing. And I feel like with this game in particular, the original Mario Kart, you know, I think it's just better to have more realistic chances to win. It's a great option to play for anybody, I think, in my opinion. It's going in. So, again, overall, I feel like this is an amazing game. You know, the power-up items obtained are amazing. And, you know, the type of, kind of like went over again, like the mushrooms and the Kapua shells adds that component of throwing off people, but again, like in the game, but also like has people on their toes, and it's still way fun to play. So I feel like overall, it's always about keeping a video game fresh. So I was like looking again at the different Mario Kart series. So obviously they get a little bit more challenging as like, I think the designers, you know, you get more, you want to like step up each time and make it fresh and fun. But I feel like it's a great way just to get involved, like I said, with this game. It's really fun and engaging, and it's not anything that's going to be, you know, overly advanced or for somebody. So like, I really think the mechanics of the game, you know, is that adds the element of, you know, the racing involved. It's not overly complicated. Also, like the items, the power-up items are great. And then, again, the realistic chances in winning the game, I think, is amazing. And again, like I said, the type of weapon received is influenced by the player's current position, which is awesome. So again, like, give an example, last thing, is for players lagging behind, they can receive more powerful items such as a bullet, bills which give the player a bigger speed boost depending on the place of the player, which the leader may only receive small defense items. There's also another mechanic called rubber banding, which allows other players, or you know, again, like the realistic chance to get the lead. And again, involving the slipstreaming and mini turbos. So again, as the series progresses, like obviously it gets more challenging, but overall I feel like, you know, those three elements involved, it's going to help the player and guide the player in a way that's not so complicated, and also engage them and get new people to that you have never played video games really. I highly suggest playing Mario Kart because you know, it's a way to get involved and have fun. And also maybe learn a thing or two about racing. Thanks so much, guys. And that concludes my video of Mario Kart.